In this video, we will model headphones. So you can use image references to play with that. I will just model by instinct a little, but it will show you how it works mostly. And we will see how to add image references in Blender. But in case you want to use image references into your 3D view, you can use it and go to add here image reference and choose your reference here after. But first of all, here I will remove everything and add a circle. So here we will model, maybe you call it here cups or something like that. First of all, so we will not model the right side, then after the left side. So what I will do, I will activate after the mirror modifier. So let's go into orthographic view, in front view, and in edit mode into our circle of 24 vertices here. So first of all, I will model the basic shape here that goes like that. So I will make an extrusion into the z-axis, okay? Then ES to scale it down a little, okay? And starting this shape, I will come back in front view and make it easy again to have this kind of shape like this and scale it down, okay? Maybe a little more like that. Good, perfect. So what I would like here is to have something with nice curve here, okay? So what I can do to have this kind of shape, you have multiple options again, actually. What you could do actually, it's make something like that. So you can use a UV sphere with 24, the same number of vertices, go there with GZ and remove what you don't need. So what you don't need is will be all these vertices here, okay? And then you go there and make GZ, scale it down to have the right here shape and scale it into the z-axis somewhere like that, okay? And it will create a perfect shape. Look at this. Now I want to make GZ, this, align it with the geometry and make a bridge between these two loops here with shift click and alt click and shift alt left click. And now we can here make control E, bridge edge loops like that, and we have the right shape, something really what we wanted actually. Maybe this, I will put it back a little more with GZ. Okay, you have to have kind of an angle here, and after it start with a round shape. But you could make something with extrude this one, okay, with this, and after use the bevel tool maybe to, or extrude one by one, but it will be a little long. So I like here what we did actually. So we will keep that. So this, it's okay. Now I will come back to the first loop that we had and I will extrude it with S, so ES, and I will have again that shape, okay? So let's see a little the rest of the shape here. And what I will do, I will start to make the coffins, maybe. I will extrude that into the z-axis, scale it up, has to be a little bigger, extrude into the z-axis, scale it up again, still the same. So we want something comfortable for ears, easy again, scale it down, and we start to make that shape here, okay? Extrude again, S, extrude again, Z, S, and we want the inside shape, so EZ again, okay, and EZ and S. And now I make an extrusion again into again the Z-axis and ES and ES again, and we will close the shape. So we know already how to close the shape with Control F, grid fill, and we go there, align it with the right offset here, and we will have something like that. Good. So what we can do is watching that here into this viewport shading solid view, and now we will add a modifier, and this modifier will be a subdivision surface. So now we will have this kind of shape, okay? We could even increase and watch here how it looks already. So, okay, it looks nice. We have already a nice shape. So what I would like, you see that when I add this modifier, sometimes it makes the edges a little less sharp, and sometimes I need more sharpness. So how to do that? You can see it here with this loop inside that we don't see because of the modifier. So this loop here, okay? And we can see it here as well. Me, I want a sharp edge here and a sharp edge here. So we have two solutions for that. The first one is to add some geometry. So to add some geometry, you can use, for example, the Control R here and add some geometry. So for example, like that, very close to the first one, and another here, okay, to have really a sharp angle at this point. But maybe it's something that adds some geometry, and maybe it's more difficult to manage it later. We have a specific tool in Blender that works well, that works very well. It works only with subdivision surface, and you use Shift E. Shift E will crease, and you can see that it makes the same kind of effect, but only into that shape, into that selection. And now if I deselect it, it will be a pink color to show that I did crease this one, okay? And I will make the same here. With Shift E, I increase, and look at that, the right shape that we have now. So it looks good already. Maybe I will create here, because we want only quads, it's always better. For example, why I would use quads here, and why it could be a problem. Maybe I want to select this entire loop here, and sometimes if, for example, I don't have this one, okay, if I hide this to show you why, if I select here, it will stop the selection here, because here it's triangle, so it doesn't know how to go into the other side. So what I will do here, I will remove this vertex here, and with Control F, I will use the grid fill again. Now I can select the entire loop very easily, just like this, okay? I will make Alt H to put back my geometry. So H will hide the geometry, Alt H will make the geometry comes back. So very important one as well. Okay, now we have our global shape. Maybe I don't like that much that loop, and I can remove an entire loop like this. Okay, and to show you something more, I can select more or less. Okay, something like this. And maybe this, I will scale it down into the Z-axis again and put this up. We want something that is not that much curved, okay? So something like that looks good. You can see that now we have this shape that appears, and if you want to make it less prominent like this, you just select it with the circle selection mode or the box selection tool here, just like that. And you use the smooth vertex again and again. And now it looks very good. Okay, so now we have the basic shape that we need. So maybe we could add some detail here by maybe add a loop. Okay, add another loop just not far from the last one, and select both just like that. And by extruding, we will create a nice shape there that will look very good. Okay, again, you can make another one here, and this one will be outside maybe. Okay, and now you have something more complex that looks more technical. Okay, you can add here into the loop inside there. You can add some crease as well with Shift E to have something really flat there. Good. So now we have our first here. So what I will do now, I will just select everything, make a rotation like that, okay? And it will be placed here, somewhere here maybe. And to verify that, I will add a modifier generate mirror. And you see that if you didn't move your origin point, it will give you the other side directly. The modification that I do here will appear into the right side as well. Okay, so very, very powerful tool here, the mirror. What we do usually, we put it above the subdivision modifier. We will see later during the training how the modifier works more deeply in detail, but here what you can understand is that you read modifiers from top to the bottom here, and I will explain you why will it put it here, and actually I will put it back here to show you how it works. So what I will do, I will add another circle now. Let's go, maybe this shape is a little too circular. So what I will do, I will select everything and make SY to have this kind of shape. Okay, looks already better, more like a real headphone. And I will now just add a new circle. Okay, always 24 vertices, it's okay, it will look good like this. What I will do, I will make a RX 90 degrees to put it in front, okay, and scale it down. On top view, I will try to put this circle here, and in front view, I will put it in the center of this shape here. Okay, you can see how it looks now. So first of all, I will just go there a little above the surface. It has to be straight, but above the surface, so somewhere here looks good. And I will make an extrusion first. Okay, into the y-axis. And now I can make another extrusion to close the geometry here with ES and ES again. We know the process already. And maybe with Control F, grid fill, in front view to see, to always try to align things here. It's important. And now I will make an extrusion, ES, into that shape and make the axe here. So what I will do, I will make EY to put the axe over there. So what I will do, I will try to sharpen my edges here by using Shift E. What I can see already is that the normals are inverted. We can see that the shading, it's a little strange here. And if we look at it here and enable the normals, we can see that they are inside actually, they are not outside. So what I will do, I will select this part and make Shift N, and it looks already better. Okay. And now what I can do, sharpen the edges. So while I will select the loop here, I will make Shift E and sharpen this. Make the same with that one, Shift E, it will sharpen. And the same with that one as well inside. I try to select it. If you cannot select it, you disable here the, okay, now I have it. And I make Shift E again. This one we can really sharpen it strongly. Good. And now we have this kind of shape. Perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. We want that doesn't touch, but almost, so we can select everything with GY and align it with the geometry, with the geometry there. Just be sure that you don't have anything that touches the other part. Good. So what we will do now, we will create an arch somewhere here, okay? And to create that arch, we will make it manually, and we will remove some of the geometry here to have something that we can extrude. So what we will do here, we will extrude that. And let's go with the front view to see, yeah, what we will remove. So we will remove, I think, something like this, okay? It looks good and we can align it well. So I think we can start with this, okay? And so I will remove the faces here. By removing these faces, I will have a new here loop that I can select. You can see that now I can select that loop here, okay? And if I extrude that inside view, so Ctrl+3 to have the right view here, I can extrude that here this way and make a little rotation. So what I do usually to have a good, before make the rotation, what I do usually to have a good loop, I make SZ0 here. Like this, I come back to this kind of shape and it will look better, okay? So in front view, we will try to align it here and there. Like this, it will look better. We can remove the Shift E here. So Shift E -1 like this, we have nothing no sharpness into it. And now with Ctrl+3, we can extrude that like this. Make a rotation. Okay. Extrude again. Make a rotation. Extrude again. Make a rotation. And now we can play in front view to align everything. So I select that loop, align it here, and that loop again, oops, sorry, and that loop again, align it here. Okay, and now we have something that is not bad. Okay, looks good already. What we can do as well now is to make this alignment here in front view again. We make a rotation and align it a little bit like this. Okay, same for that one. And same for that one. Good, so now we have good shape. What we can do in top view as well, we can align that one, that it starts to meet the other one. So what I use usually at that point, I use a tool that is very, very powerful that you need to understand. It's here. I will select the entire shape that I want to put into the other side as well. So what I do in that case, I use the mesh symmetrize there. By default, what it will do, it will create something in the other side into the x-axis. Me, I wanted from the positive y to the negative y, from the negative y, sorry, to the positive y, and now it will create this directly. So it will be very powerful, this. and very important to know these two. Control E, bridge edge loops, and now we have our shape like that. Okay, looks already not bad. But what we want to do with that shape is have something enabled here to can extrude on top here. So what we will do, we'll add a loop here, add a loop here, good. Select both loops, and maybe just with GZ, be sure that you have the right angle and that the shape is good. And with G as well, with natural G, without anything. Like this, you can align the geometry where you want to be. And now we can extrude this part. So we will make the same technique that we did use here, but we will make the arch over there. So what we will select and remove will create this part. So we want something like this maybe. Yeah, we will remove that part here. I think it will be perfect for what we need. Okay, so we remove the faces here and we have a new loop that we can use to extrude again all along to have this shape now. So we extrude this, make a rotation, extrude this, make a rotation. Okay, another one maybe. And on top we want it bigger. So yeah, the first one actually, I did forget something. The first one actually I should do SZ0 to come back with something cleaner. And now I can make my extrusions and have something with a little rotation again. Okay, good. So it will depend of the shape that you need, but something like that might be okay. And now what I will do, I will make an extrusion and a S. So ES, you see that it makes something too big into the y-axis. So I come back with SY and align it like this. Scale it again to have something that will look big and make SY again. Good. So now we have this shape and we can continue our extrusions like that. Make rotation, extrude, make a rotation, and extrude again. And it's where that it's important to see the little options that we have into the mirror. So the first thing, it's the clipping. The clipping will not let you go into the other side. If I disable it, I can go into the other side with G like that. But if I use clipping, you can see that it sticks directly into the other. So it's something that will work. And what we can do as well, and see, if we look at it into the object mode, we can see that we have an arch here and here it's sharp. We don't want this sharpness. So why it makes this? Because it subdivide before the mirror. But if it mirror first and subdivide after, we will have this nice shape now. So far better already. And what we can do, it's here we can sharpen some edges as well. So what we can, it's just add with Control R a loop already. And this one after the one inside with Shift E, we will sharpen it well. Again, we can make the same here, sharpen that one, Control R, no, Shift E to have something sharper. Okay, that looks like this. No, it's like this part goes inside that one, and this is what we want. Now we can add some little details everywhere, and we will use simple techniques. It's the extrusion, and keep it here with right click and go with Alt S to go inside or go outside. So how it works this? I can do this already here. We did see how it works already, but I can show you again. So maybe I can scale this down a little, or yeah, we can just make Control B maybe, just like that. So what I will do, I will make in both sides at once. With Control B, I add a line, and this line I extrude it, right click, I keep it here, okay? And with Alt S, I put it outside or inside. So here I push it inside. And if I need, I come back to some loops, like for example this one, and here sharpen it again with Shift E to have something sharpened. Okay, looks better already with little details like that. We can make the same here, like add a loop. With Control B, we make a full double loop here, extrude, Alt S, and we have a new shape, more interesting, and that will be better. Shift E here, we add some sharpness, and look at this, we have something good. If I did forget the other side, I can just select that loop here, okay, and into the mesh symmetrize, I will just keep the symmetry like that, and it will make something perfectly aligned. Good. So what I can do, I can add some details here as well. Like for example, I will hide this, and with Control R, I will add two loops. There's two loops, I will select them like this in edge select mode, and with Control B, I make again two lines. There's two lines, I can extrude them, and with Alt S, put them inside. Just a little details like that. Looks already far better. We can make the same here with that shape. We have some possibilities, like for example, if you have a selection like this, you can use, for example, the circle selection mode here and make something like that, for example. Okay, and maybe I want to add to the selection, okay, to have this kind of shape, this kind of selection. So maybe I make something like this here. So I remove some selection, and again, and I add to the selection to have this kind of shape, and maybe even this one as well. Can look good. Now that we have this shape here, we can go there into, I come back to my normal selection box here, and we can make a direct an extrusion here, like that. It will work. As you can see, it works well. So it looks good. Maybe I will add a loop here to sharpen things here a little. Add a loop here, sharpen things as well. And look at this. Looks good already too. What you can do to sharpen these edges here is just add a loop inside, just like this. Sometimes it's quicker. It adds some geometry, but it can be quicker than just select and sharpen each time. So yeah, sometimes I use this technique. It really depends if you want low poly or not. Here, it's just for a nice render, so let's go for details there, okay? And here we could add a loop as well, maybe. A little loop here that we can extrude like that. Okay, and we have another shape that is interesting, that is more interesting. And again, we can add more details just by using these techniques, okay? So that's it for this this series, for this this modeling session. Here, what you can do as well with Alt H, you can add more thickness here by maybe add some more soft material there. So what I can do, just like this. I can just move that just easily like that, so it will create something bigger. But in case you don't want this, you can make a Y here to have a border. Okay. Remove the sharpness of this selection. So what I do, I make Shift E -1 like this. It removes the sharpness, and make an extrusion. Okay. You can see that it adds this. So what you need to do for that, to not have the problem of this, you can use the clipping here, and instead of Y, you use ES, and it will make almost the same. And Shift E -1 again, and make another extrusion. So yeah, something like that. That will have a kind of soft materials there. Something softer. What we can do as well is to align this a little better. It will look better. And now we have something more comfortable. Okay. When you finish all the modelings here, headphones, you rename your object, you go into edit mode, you select everything, you make Shift N to recalculate normals outside, and you make M by distance to remove the vertices. Here I did it good, so I have 0 vertices removed. And now you can go in object mode and select the shading that you need. Here shade smooth or auto smooth will work. I guess that shade auto smooth will not change that much because I don't have that sharp angles here. So yeah, let's use just shade smooth here, the classical one. And that's it for the headphones modeling. Now you can add this to your project. So again and again, make these projects again and again until you don't think about the tools, until you don't think about the shortcuts. And for this, you just need some practice. It's just like that. It's normal. So yeah, you can try with other shapes, other simple shapes like this. Don't hesitate to have a look outside around you, and maybe you have some pens, you have some other mugs, styles, you have some cameras, you have microphones or things around you that will help you, and you tell, okay, today I will model a microphone, how I do that. Because this is the most important. It's watch around what you have and be able to reproduce it and be able to model it. So what is important is to make your own experiment after too as well. So I give you some examples to start with, but after it's on to you. Maybe you want to model a house, or you want to model a printer, or you want to model a lamp or whatever. So don't hesitate to experiment yourself, but first of all, be aware that these tools are very important and that they need to be natural. So don't hesitate to practice and practice more. There's little exercises, and it will be a good start for you to start real modeling. So now let's go into chapter 4. We did finish chapter 3 here. We will go into chapter 4 and we will use the curve to continue our modeling journey.